you're a strong labor supporter. You were a union guy. You still are a union guy. You were elected in 2001. What are some of the things, looking over your time in Congress, that you can point to that you're most proud of and that you think voters should hear about?
Well, I think, first of all, I went to Congress with a unique perspective. I was an iron worker for 18 years, strapped the boots on and the jeans on every day and went out to work for 18 years. Not sitting behind a desk, but actually went out and did the work. Stood in unemployment lines when times were tough, just like a lot of families are doing right now. Struggled to make ends meet, just like a lot of families are today. Grew up in public housing, like a lot of people today, a tough environment, so I appreciate the value of public housing. And I'm a strong advocate of public housing as well. But I think that you know, we've done some great things even recently with respect to, I could point to the, I was on a subcommittee for the Veterans Administration to oversight, and we passed the best VA bill, the largest VA bill for Veterans Affairs in the history of the 77 years of the VA. I have 3 VA hospitals where we take care of veterans in my district: West Roxbury, Brockton, and Jamaica Plain. We also passed the GI Bill, which now will allow, just like back in at the end of World War II, it's going to allow a lot of our veterans to get their advanced degrees, and not only that, but we also passed a provider's bill where if we have an injured veteran, a lot of times families, you know, and I see them at Walter Reed Army Hospital, families have to stop what they're doing and take care of a loved one. We provide benefit to that family member who might have to stop their job to become the primary caretaker of an injured veteran. So we take care of them as well. But we also, you know, the GI Bill will also allow, because some of our soldiers are very highly educated already. If they don't want to use that education, that scholarship basically, they can give it to a spouse or a son or daughter. And I was just down in Kandahar several weeks ago with a young lieutenant. I thought he was probably in his 20s, but apparently his son is 18 years old, and he's now going to use that scholarship to go to, the lieutenant was already a bachelor's degree recipient, so his son will now be able to use the benefits that he earned as a soldier. So great to see that going into effect.
Everybody, of course, is talking about Scott Brown being elected to the U.S. Senate. Do you think his election will help or hurt you moving forward?
I don't think it'll have any effect. I think that you know, people take each election you know, based on the candidacy of that individual. At least that's how I've seen it. I don't think there's any halo effect or ramification. I do think, though, that this election is special in that people are engaged. People are engaged. You know, we just did 5 parades over the July 4th weekend, one of them here in Needham. And talking to people along the parade route and just, you know, just walking the streets. I was just down at Roach Brothers here. People are very, very engaged and concerned about where we are and how Congress is dealing with some of the major problems. You know, folks are concerned with, obviously, unemployment. And I had a woman that approached me this morning about extension of benefits. She's been out for, I think she's on the 2nd extension. She's been out for some time now. Concerned about that, about getting the economy going again. There's a lot of apprehension there.
Immigration reform?
Immigration reform, if that's something that right now the Republicans have said we're not going to address that. They have chosen, they got the votes to block it. But that's another issue. You know, the oil spill in the Gulf, how that's progressing. I have a lot of seniors that are very, very concerned about that. And so this environment has, the war in Afghanistan, the war in Iraq, even though it's phasing down, still great apprehension about that. We have 200,000 men and women in uniform. So,
is it surprising to you that people are so engaged now when during the previous administration it seemed that, at least from my point of view, people just seemed to be kind of like, well, whatever, things are happening, and not as engaged. And then when President Obama was elected, then all of a sudden this groundswell of angry voters and angry, you know, people here in the United States.
Part of it now is because of the economics. People are very concerned about the national debt, and rightly so. But also the downturn in the economy, when you think about it, it has destroyed trillions of dollars in people's 401ks, in their retirement funds. It's destroyed trillions of dollars in the value that people had in their homes as home prices have been depressed. Not so much in Massachusetts, but a fair amount as in other parts of the country. So people are very, very concerned about that. People are angry about that bank bailout for Wall Street. You know, I voted against. I'm proud to say I'm one of the members of Congress who stood up and said no. When Wall Street came for a $787 billion taxpayer bailout, I said no. I said no. Now, you know, they've received trillions of dollars in aid, and we're struggling to provide an extension for for unemployment benefits for victims who have been thrown out of their jobs because of the recklessness on Wall Street. You know, it's really a paradox how Congress rushed to rescue Wall Street, but they'll allow these workers to stay out without health benefits on COBRA and without unemployment benefits that just provide a basic stipend for people from week to week.